Welcome back to Sunday with Michael Portillo. Artificial intelligence has already been used to fill in gaps in ancient Roman scrolls. But now academics have discovered that it can supply missing words from ancient inscriptions carved on monuments and date and locate their geographical origin. Joining me now is the historian Tony McMahon. Lovely to see you, Tony. Welcome back.
Hello.
Now, artificial intelligence is able to look at a lot of information and material very, very quickly and to make comparisons. So I assume that is the basis of what is happening here, is it?
That's completely the basis. So the problem is that there are thousands of Roman inscriptions that were broken, defaced, or they've just become erased over time, through erosion. And what Google DeepMind have done is they've created this AI tool, which they've named Aeneas, after the Trojan War hero, who went wandering. And this tool effectively goes wandering across just under 200,000 Roman inscriptions, which have been fed into Aeneas. So when it's confronted with a broken Roman inscription, its AI mind starts to scrabble through at a rate that we can't even perceive all these Roman inscriptions, and it sees patterns and parallels. And as a result, it can start to fill in the gaps. And it has been tested. They've deliberately removed parts of inscriptions that they know that they haven't in their entirety.
Yes.
And the AI mind has cracked it. And they estimated about 3/4 of cases it can get it absolutely right. And that's in terms of completing the inscription, because a lot of them were military diplomas and stuff like that. But also it can put it into a time. And remember, the Roman Empire is 1,500 years. They say 13-year error on either side. And also the province that it was inscribed in, and under which emperor, and so on.
Well, that is absolutely extraordinary. So, I mean, that is going to help enormously, is it not?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, for scholars, this essentially automates something that some poor junior researchers would have had to struggle with. I mean, it removes their jobs, unfortunately, probably. But yes, I mean, it really speeds up the process of deciphering these inscriptions. And these inscriptions are really important because they give us incredible insights into the Roman Empire. And we're all fascinated by the Roman Empire. And these inscriptions tell us sometimes very mundane things, I don't know, grain tax or whatever, but sometimes it's a Roman emperor boasting about his achievements. So it can give us whole new insights. It might tell us things that we never knew about the Romans.
It seems that the technology had already been applied to scrolls, now being applied to monuments. You have just come back from Herculaneum, have you not?
Yeah.
Which, in case people don't know, is kind of very close to Pompeii, destroyed by the eruption of Vesuvius in 79?
79.
79 AD. So, in Herculaneum, some of the scrolls were burnt, were they not?
I mean, without getting too volcanological about it, I mean, Herculaneum was destroyed in a slightly different way to Pompeii.
Yes.
It was a kind of gassy, hot gas cloud, pyroclastic flow. And so a lot of organic material, I mean, I saw bed frames, even Roman wooden sliding doors, incredible, but also scrolls, carbonized scrolls. Now, to actually try and unfurl these, incredibly dangerous. The thing's just going to pulverize in your hands. So what they're doing is they're taking X-rays of these scrolls and then applying the AI and effectively saying to the AI, well, what do you see on these X-rays? And hopefully we'll be able to gradually see that within these scrolls might be speeches by Cicero, a new version of Homer's Iliad, or whatever. But that combination of the physical kind of X-ray technology, which is older technology, and AI, this kind of brain, which is getting ever sharper, will be able to kind of tell us what's inside those scrolls.
In Herculaneum, for example, are there a lot of scrolls? Is this a very important source?
Yes. I mean, Herculaneum had what was called a library. It's termed a library. We think it was some kind of library. And up until now, it's not been possible to... I think historians have just been very... And a lot of these scrolls, by the way, were destroyed in early archaeology because they weren't viewed as being particularly important. Early archaeologists, after the gold and silver, didn't really care too much. But now it's really the scrolls that are getting archaeologists excited, historians excited. But up until now, they've not been able to read them. But they had the X-ray technology, but now the AI, with its predictive power, with its ability to wander across, other data sets, that really does. That's a game changer.
And take a place like Herculaneum. Are they still excavating today? Therefore, is there the possibility of new discoveries, whether of monuments or of scrolls, to which the AI can be applied in future?
Well, I didn't realise, actually, ahead of this interview, I did a little research. I did a lot of research, of course. But there's 1,500 new Roman inscriptions found every year across the former Roman Empire. I didn't know it was that volume myself. But Herculaneum, absolutely, 3/4 of Herculaneum is still unexcavated. Unfortunately, the modern town of Ercolano is sitting on top of a lot of it. If the residents would obligingly move, then we could find a lot more.
It was a more complicated excavation than Pompeii. Pompeii having been covered in ash.
Yes. I mean, it's. One of the key differences. One of the very striking, very poignant things when you go to Herculaneum is you see all the skeletons of these people who were literally fried down by the boat sheds as they were trying to escape. But one of the incredible things about Herculaneum and why it offers so much potential, you can literally walk into a Roman house with part of its roof still there, and you can walk along corridors with the tiles still there and the painted rooms. There's a level of detail at Herculaneum that really takes your breath away, and you get an idea of the luxury and sophistication of the Romans. But then, of course, there's this knowledge. We can tap into the knowledge, the wisdom of the Romans in Herculaneum, and hopefully AI can tell us what the hell's on those scrolls.
And you were making your first visit to Herculaneum.
I was. I've been to Pompeii a few times, been to Rome umpteen times. For some reason, I've always passed by Herculaneum train station, said I must go there one day. And this year, I just bloody-mindedly said I'm going to go. And believe me, I was like a pig in something. I was absolutely delighted that I made the effort. Fantastic place.
You've come into the studio today with that excitement still very, very evident in your demeanour. Thank you very much indeed, Tony McMahon.